Hello everyone, we are going to go from idea to upload and we're going to talk about how to use TubeSpanner to grow your YouTube channel. So if you are joining us for the first time, TubeSpanner is a free browser extension and a paid tool. We have a free trial link in the description down below, but I don't want to waste much time. I want to get right into how we're going to get going with what we're here to do. So we are going to share my screen and get right into the action. So here we are at the TubeSpanner YouTube channel. From here, you should notice our browser extension. We are going to click on it. And this is going to open up this panel. As you can see, right off the bat, we can see our achievements. We can see a few different things. So right off the bat, I wanted to talk about, some more action things. So, TubeSpanner keeps coming up in different creative questions. I keep seeing people ask us, how can we use it? Now, I am a proud TubeSpanner partner, really been enjoying learning and working with them. Now, you might know the Ideation tab, and some things have changed, right? We have changed how this works. We have viewers, which is changed from audience, so instead of target audience, it is now target viewers. Why did they make this change? To match how YouTube says. And they're still making changes, right? Like this is going to go from most recent, most views to most engaged to parallel YouTube's own in the analytics. So if you're wondering how does TubeSpanner decide things, well, this is part of how they do it, right? So we're going to go to analytics, audience. And then what I want to do is go to new viewers, casual viewers, regular viewers, because that's how they're planning to update the wording here, right? So when I go to Ideation, they changed it to viewer because that's how YouTube calls it, right? So the first thing that's very important for any kind of YouTube channel is idea, also known as the video topic. I see a lot of debate. What's more important, thumbnail or title? Well, actually the most important is idea, because guess what? Your title and your topic are also based on the idea. You can't have a thumbnail, you can't have a title without a good topic. Now, how do we get those fundamental topics and ideas? Well, there are a couple places we can go. In TubeSpanner, we're going to go and start with the Ideation tab. So if you're just joining us, you may have just downloaded the free browser extension. You're going to click on the Home tab. To the right of it, you're going to see the Ideation area. And then we are going to dive deep. Now, one thing I want to call out is as you get ideas, you should select your viewer first. If you have watched a few of these, you'll know who Charlie is. We've created Charlie. This is our audience avatar. Charlie is someone who is interested in YouTube, wants to grow on it, wants to get better. So I think, it's something. So as we are loading for our viewer avatar, I see from English Fun Zone, I've been thinking about switching to TubeSpanner. As I have always said, no matter where I have been in my career, I highly recommend that you use what tools work best for you. I really like a lot of the tools out there, but right now I've really been having a lot of fun and been investing my time in learning TubeSpanner. I've been also investing my time learning YouTube's own tools, some other tools. So as I always say, use what works best for you. So English Fun Zone, happy to see that comment, and hopefully this helps you make that decision, right? So one of the things I also think is important when it comes to just doing anything is understanding some of the titles, right? So right now we are, if we think about it, getting close to the new year, right? At the time of this live stream, we replay it's November. So how to turn your YouTube channel into a career by 2026. This is a pretty decent idea, especially if I am trying to grow, when it comes to a YouTube channel, or if I'm Charlie, someone trying to grow their YouTube channel. So for the TubeSpanner channel, this makes a lot of sense. Mastering YouTube analytics to skyrocket your channel, not bad. Staying creative without burning out on YouTube. I actually kind of really like this idea. A lot of these ideas are very solid. Top tools for creative YouTubers in 2026, going back to what English Fun Zone. YouTube growth hacks for female creators. Now, because Charlie is female presenting in my audience avatar, this makes sense. Now, I want to call the elephant out in the room, right? I made this avatar. This might be this one where it is, building an authentic female creator community on YouTube. This is probably where if I wanted to cover this topic, I would bring on a guest I trust, a fellow creative. There are so many incredible, talented female presenting creators on YouTube. So while this is a great idea for Charlie, this may not be the best suited fit for me, but that's where I could lean on to my network, right? And this is all about idea generation. So I actually do kind of like that idea, and it could be a great collaboration opportunity for me. I think since, English Fun Zone was talking about different tools, maybe we could do something like that. If I want more video ideas, I can click down here. It'll generate some new ones. And again, we are starting here, going deep. And another thing I will mention is, like, as I see TubeSpanner, you see TubeSpanner in the chat, I like that they're hosting these live streams. I like that they're active in the chat. And I think that, at the end of the day, I'll call it for what it is. A lot of the YouTube tools are very similar. What makes the difference is how do those communities show up, right? Whether you're using TubeSpanner or another YouTube tool, how do they show up for their community? Are they at events? Are they doing live streams? Are they there where you are? Are they sponsoring creators you believe in? How are they showing up? A lot of them in the past have, but are they doing so recently? Who is showing up in the conversations you want to have? Also, a lot of them have free trials. My best and second recommendation would easily be to, go ahead and give a free trial a shot. You can't really go wrong with that. So as we're going through this and as we're looking here, we came up with more video ideas. So how to build a supportive female creative, creator community. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I do think this would be a good one, but not for today. Stay authentic while growing your channel. I do kind of love turning your channel into your main source of income, launching your own brand as a YouTuber, finding your niche. Actually, I really like this title idea, right? So finding your niche amidst many interests. Help for creators with diverse interests who struggle to pick a niche. Learn how to identify. I like this. So now that I have an idea I really like, I think this is where I can click more titles from this idea, or I could rate this title. I think I'm going to click on more titles for this idea. It's going to bring us over to the title section of the tool. And here is where we can start understanding more of what it's doing, right? So going back to the main point of what we're here to do today, right? The main point of this stream is, how to go from idea to upload a video. So we now have an idea I like. And that idea was all about, how do I pick my niche? How do I pick my focus? So there's so many out there, right? So we have an idea. Now we're going right to titles. So the way I tend to do it is idea sets the pace for everything. With the idea, you can come up with title, you can come up with thumbnail, you can come up with your description, pretty much everything. Script, bullet points, however you're going to film, it should start here, right? So now, here we are. We had title suggestions. So we got an idea. Now we're going right into the title flow. So how to discover your perfect niche amidst countless interests. Mastering the art of niche selection, niche. Let us know in those comments. Do you say niche or do you say niche? Finding your creative niche while balancing multiple, passions. Your diverse interests are the key to your success. The journey to uncover your niche. Building a channel that reflects all your interests. How to choose a niche that encourages continuous growth. I think this one I might go with. So video advice on selecting a niche that promotes growth and learning. Discover how choosing the right niche can help foster continuous growth and allow you to remain innovative. I've heard both, but I like innovative. We're going to open HomeRun. Now, from here, what I want to do is I want to go into the Discovery Optimizer, right? So what this is, if you are brand new, Discovery Optimizer focuses on homepage of YouTube and suggestion, where Search Explorer is your classic SEO. There is no right or wrong answer on what you want to target. Just know this difference. The difference between home and suggested and SEO is that home and suggested on YouTube, also known as the discovery system in the search and discovery system from YouTube, has the potential, and the keyword there is potential, for broad audience reach. However, SEO is more search-based, based on what people want to see on YouTube, based on what they're searching for, right? Now, if there is search interest, it can still be suggested. It could still be discovered. You need to pick what makes the most sense for your YouTube channel. You also, in the content, need to be very particular, very focused on making sure that your videos don't just become okay, I've seen one piece and I'm gone. I call it like a quickie mart, where, all right, got what I needed, I'm out. You want to make it a long-term experience, something that they come back for. So with that, I wanted to really just kind of call that out, those differences right on the top. So we are going to analyze this. I think this one might be pretty good for discovery. So let's analyze this, right? Now, it's going to give us a disclaimer as we run through this. YouTube lets you use 100 characters for your title, but somewhere between 60 to 70 characters, about 10 to 12 words, usually shows up in full on most devices. Good titles also give off a certain feeling and use powerful words that really grab attention. Let's take a look at yours and see what might be improved. So, title score, we get excellent. A lot of people are like, what is this score doing, right? This is an important question. I tend to go for excellent in the title score, and I want to look at what the other stuff are, right? So when I look at this, 76, this is good for me. I think this is an excellent title. 100% is one of those things where a lot of people are like, I want 100%. You should definitely focus on making sure you have a title score of excellent. Title length, 9 words. It gives us more information. Compelling element, it says is average. So how to choose a niche. I would maybe even just say choose a niche that encourages continuous, and I might even put a YouTube niche that encourages that, maybe instead of encourages, demands, it could be a little more demands growth. And maybe instead of continuous growth, I could just say demands growth, right? We can keep this shorter, we can analyze. The cool thing about this is I have the idea, I am the creative and still being creative. So as we can see, it went from excellent to very good. What is it saying? Compelling element is a little better, but the clarity and readability is a little lower. It said consider, so here's what it's going to suggest. The headline inspires the reader to take action and suggests obtainable through careful, and it's giving a suggestion. Discover your path, right? So choose a YouTube niche that, so maybe I should go for a desire element, right? So choose a YouTube niche that grows your channel. Maybe that's a better one. Because now the topic is YouTube niche, they get growth, and it's on their channel, your channel, the audience watching. And look at that, we're back to excellent. So I really like how this is going. It's getting higher in the compelling element, saying average. I'm okay with this. Saying I could include urgency, choose a niche that grows your channel. Maybe I add in now, because we want to do this right now. And maybe the grows being like that is, a little different. Maybe this is where, we could see this. So choose a YouTube niche that grows your channel now. Looks pretty good. Key metrics, title is 9 words. Compelling element is now above average. And the clarity is excellent. So I feel like we have a little bit more. My title appears to be missing several types of words that viewers look to. That makes sense. 9 words, 51 characters. It's giving us a lot of breakdown. Hello, geology dude. Happy to have you here. It's giving us some more context. And I think that that's something a lot of people lack is when they're looking at titles is some context. So title, readability, and clarity. The title is quite easy to read and understand with straightforward language. The use of capitalization for emphasis can make it more eye-catching. The title effectively conveys a sense of urgency and action, which is suitable for attracting viewers on YouTube. Overall, the message is clear and engaging. Also consider, despite the high readability score, the use of all caps and grows and nows might be perceived as overly aggressive by some viewers, possibly reducing its appeal. However, for an audience looking for strong, actionable advice, this emphasis might enhance the title's effectiveness. So that's good to know. And maybe I make grows lowercase, except for this. And, a lot of YouTube titles tend to have this kind of structure. I don't want to say choose a YouTube niche that grows your YouTube channel now. I feel like that's too much YouTube in it, ironically. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and maybe this is where I could A/B test. But it says that my clarity is a little better. We're at a 74. It gave me a 76. So as you can see, small changes do matter here. So I'm happy with that. Positive words, grows, now, neutral words. Compelling elements above average. The title uses the urgency word now. Also consider the title may not capture the interests of those who have already chosen a niche. Maybe choose a YouTube niche that grows your channel. And maybe I try in 2 minutes, right? Maybe this is something, a time element, right? So with a time element, here's something you should know, right? A lot of times something that it's very easily compelling is that time element, right? If I can tell you how to do something in under 10 minutes, well, that's a lot more compelling than maybe how to grow your YouTube channel. How to grow a YouTube channel in under 10 minutes is already more compelling. How to grow your YouTube channel in under 10 minutes is even more compelling than where we were before. So as we are looking, to do more and more, it is definitely important that we analyze and look at what we're doing. So we already have our idea, which is how to find a niche. Now it says above average. It says combines urgency in 2 minutes, value, grow your channel. Let's go ahead and see what it says. We are now outstanding. So now look at how we've changed, right? So choose a YouTube niche that grows your channel in 2 minutes. Well, I actually think realistically I could probably do this in 10. I think 2 might be a little pushing it, but maybe I could challenge myself. I mean, I could definitely just list out YouTube niches, but I feel like in 10 minutes feels more accurate to what I would actually maybe make. So let's see what it says. Still outstanding, 80%. Okay. So we're still at 11 words, 61 characters. It says it is above average and compelling. I think we have our title now. So we have it for discovery. I think this is a much better one for the home feed. And yes, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistently good. I think this is the title I want to go with. And so because I like this title so much, the next step is I want to make sure I don't lose it. I want to just copy. But let's go into HomeRun and let's analyze this, right? It said 1 potential opportunities. What this is doing is looking for outliers. This one did 1,018 times better than the channel average. So let's analyze again, and it's finding more. So what I could do is I could create a variation, and it says genius YouTube advice for 15 minutes straight. So I want to create something that's more niche specific. It's telling me if I wanted to, how I could recreate this, but this isn't something I want to do. Title suggestions, it's giving for maybe more options. So this could be very useful for A/B testing. It even gives me a summary. One thing I will say is that because it's basing it off of genius YouTube advice for 15 minutes straight, I would maybe take a look at my own. I would say that this is where I could do my own thing instead. But this is really helpful for just getting an idea of what is already out there and comparing. And if I wanted to have a YouTube title closer to what is successful for others, it gives me a good idea for this. However, with this idea, with my new title, I really like it. And so I want to just see, I think it could do well in search. You'll notice that it's going to be able to pull this over without any hesitation or thinking. Now, as it is loading this into the search preview, it's just going to load our score. We can see it says perfect title. Perfect title, perfect. A YouTube title between. Seems to be, it could just be some issues. We had some Cloudflare issues today on the internet. If you're watching this in the future, hopefully your internet is working perfectly. This is still excellent for SEO. Obviously, this is more of a discovery play more than an SEO play, but there's nothing wrong with that. So let's recap where we're at. We started with no ideas. Now we have an idea. We have a title we like, and now we can continue going further. So we've started with nothing to already a much better title. And with it, if we look at all the way to the end at HomeRun, we can get inspiration from those who've come before and letting us know, hey, there is some interest here. So I just want to make sure. And it's letting us know how this favors in, YouTube SEO. So the YouTube niche, high, grows your channel, excellent. Learning skills, keyword density has high potential. Average monthly searches is an estimated 20K. Search competition is moderate, but trend velocity is about 5K. Keyword variation is not bad. Related questions are good. What are the best niches for new YouTubers? This is a great suggestion. I could maybe even say, choose a YouTube niche. What are the best niches for new YouTubers is great to mention in that video. I love that suggestion. So with that, we have our title. We can actually go back to ideation too, because, this is where we started. We actually started in video. We have our new title. We have the one we worked on. We workshopped. And now if we click on Toolbox, or if we go to other parts in the tool, you'll notice we have the script generator, and we can try this now. And this is going to take us to the back end, where I am now going to quickly log us in. And hey, look, there I was. I did give a quote trying to help out some friends. You've seen some folks on this channel. You've seen myself. You've seen Nick Nimmin. A lot of people who are fans of the TubeSpanner people here. So now what I'm doing is we have gone from idea. We have a title. Now we need a script. So let's do it. So if you've not seen the TubeSpanner dashboard, we actually did a whole dedicated live stream recently on how to use it. But at the very top, I have video script templates. I also have in the left-hand sidebar where it says produce, I can create a script here. I'm just going to click create, a video script templates, take a look at what it's got for me. I could also choose different ways to do this. I could look at the templates. So the difference here is this will give you some starting points. So maybe I want to make an argument script of like why, you should have a niche. Maybe I want just a blank template. Maybe I want a listicle template, right? Because I think for niches, like, choosing them as niche, this feels more list-based. It feels like an entertainment and list. So let's use this template. And we're going to enter in our title. Choose a YouTube niche that grows your channel in 10 minutes. And I'm actually going to go back to where it says HomeRun, Search Explorer. And I want to say, what are the best niches for new YouTubers? I'm going to bring that in, right? So what are the best niches for new YouTubers? This video covers how to choose a niche that will grow your channel in under 10 minutes. I didn't want to put under here because it would make it a little long, but we have that. We also have auto generate clips for shorts. If you hover, it says when generating the script includes sections, which are easy to clip into short form videos. I like that idea. I want this to be actually mixed in the tone. So here's some of the tone. I could be divisive. I could be mixed. I could be neutral. I actually think neutral is where I would be. I want to use Charlie again. That is our avatar. Positive points, negative points. Positive points. Pardon me. Positive points. We can say focus on content, allows easier path to growth. Negative, can feel boxed in, can feel limiting, might need to make a second channel. And then there are AI safety protocols, right? This is something you can have, selected. And then I'm going to generate a script. Now, as this is generating our script, I just kind of want to give some ideas where we started, right? Just because we're using this to generate us a script and get some help doesn't mean we can't edit it, doesn't mean we can't go further. But if this is your first foray into YouTube, right? Like, look at where we started. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, TubeSpanner is a great tool. We started with no ideas. We now have an idea. We now have a title. We're working on our script. Next thing we can do is a thumbnail if we really need. And all of this is while we are having this conversation. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. We always are happy to take a look, have a question. You can always ask one. So I definitely want to take a look at some of what we're doing here. So as we are going on, we now have our script. So one thing it's doing is we can first, these are our sections. You can move them around. If I want to move something around, it'll give me an idea how long the video will be. If it's under 10 minutes, knowing that this is about 7 minutes in talking time estimation, very helpful. So I want to make sure we're doing that. We are demonstrating. So now, as I click here, we can see all the ways this is going to help us, right? Now here's our current script. And it's talking, this is our current plan. It looks like it didn't nail it properly, but what's the thing? We're going to go here. We can also go to create scripts. We're going to try this again. We are going to go back to where we were. And we're going to go one more time. What are the best niches for new YouTubers? This video talks about how to find the best YouTube channel niches in under 10 minutes. Help answer also, what are the best niches for new YouTubers? We're just going to generate script off of that. I don't understand demonstrating. I'm a little confused by the question. But yeah, I do like cramming 12 minutes of content into 8. So we are loading that, making sure it is working, making sure everything is working smoothly. So yeah, we are continuing to explore. We have up to 11 people here. If you were just joining us, we went from an idea. We then went from idea to title. The video script is what we're working on now. And again, we're really going from idea to upload, right? We're using TubeSpanner every step of the way to help us grow a YouTube channel and help us come up with content in general. So one thing to know, the thing is that we continue to improve the tool. We do these weekly TubeSpanner Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Ah, got it. I see the context. And according to TubeSpanner, because of the incidents of the day, we might need a cache flush due to the Cloudflare outage. So the internet runs on Cloudflare. Unfortunately, recently we've had a couple of outages. Here we go. This feels a little bit better for what we were trying to do. Hey YouTube creators, Andrew Can here. Are you stuck trying to choose a niche for your channel? Or maybe you're wondering if your current niche is the right one? Well, in just 10 minutes, you'll learn how to select a YouTube niche that not only aligns with your passion, but also maximizes your channel's potential for growth. Let's dive into the world of niches and unlock the true potential. I would say I'd remove that. Are you stuck trying to choose a niche for your, and I'd add in the word YouTube channel. And notice how quickly I am just editing this, right? I would say, instead of or, I would say maybe you're wondering if your current niche is the right one. And I'll say, instead of well, I'll just say, in just under 10 minutes, you'll learn how to select a YouTube niche that not only aligns with your passion, but also, I don't want to say maximizes your channel's potential for growth, but also, this is where I get to be creative, right? Only aligns with your passion, but also helps, also won't get you stuck. I would maybe say something like that. So this is now our intro. We have our hook, then we have an intro. I'd actually, and the cool thing I would do is I'd just delete that. You can delete things there pretty easily. You can save any of your changes by, looking over here. You can save a script. So niches are more than a category or topic. They are the heart of your YouTube channel. When choosing a niche, you're deciding on the community that you'll be addressing. And I could say, instead of community, I would say on the viewer that you'll be addressing and the value that you'll be providing. It's about finding the perfect intersection between what you're passionate about, what you're knowledgeable in, and what the audience is actively seeking. A well-chosen niche, this is pretty good. It's solid. I do feel that this might be a little long, so I could tell it maybe let's shorten this a bit. So it can shorten this section to help it not be such a word wall. And as you can see, it is running through. It is doing its things. Niches define your YouTube channel's focus, aligning passions with audience demand. Choosing the right niche streamlines content, builds trust, and targets engaged viewers, helping your channel stand out and grow effectively. Before we dive into analytics or SEO strategies, let's start with a more personal approach, identifying your passion and expertise. Why is this important? Because your passion will be the driving force. So this isn't bad at all. I can also tell it to rewrite this. So maybe this is too short. I wanted a happy medium there. So I could tell it to rewrite this whole section. I could tell it to shorten. I could add length. All of these things are pretty fast. If you notice, I click it, it generates pretty quickly. Welcome back. This is giving me more of an intro. I could say I would probably start here, choosing the right niche for your channel. This topic is incredibly important. Here is where I'd actually probably start. The niche you choose could truly be the difference between slow frustration growth and explosive rapid success. As someone deeply passionate about YouTube content creation and optimization, I'm here to guide you through. This is also, I would maybe say rewrite, because it's idea is understanding the importance of the niche. And I feel like this one is a little bit better. And again, as we continue to go through, you'll notice that I can drag sections. I could bold parts if I really want to emphasize it. So as we are doing this, we can do quite a bit. Another cool thing is if you're struggling, look, a lot of us, this might be your first time making a video. What kind of shots should I do? How do I shoot these things? Well, TubeSpanner has a shot list tool. You can also add sections. So first, let's go ahead and save my script. One moment. Let's make a shot list. What this is going to do, blocking shots and our calendar. I do like that joke. But as it's going through this, arguing with the camera about its best angle, you'll get a little bit of sense of its humor. Thinking in storyboards, please wait while our brain reboots. So the cool thing about this as we're going through is we have gone from idea to title to hopefully a YouTube script, right? Now, I could really fine tune and edit this here, but the problem with that is that I feel like we'd get really bogged down in the script tool. And if you guys would like a dedicated scripting video, let us know. But this feels pretty good so far. And again, what it's doing now, if you're just joining, I see we have some more people here. We went from idea, title, script, and now we're getting a shot list, right? That's another step of the creative process that it's helping us do. And we don't have to choose everything it recommends. We can have control. I like when tools use things to help speed up my workflow, but still keep me in creative control. I look at it like I like AI that's kind of like cruise control, where I could put my foot on the gas if I want to, or I can just kind of cruise as I'm going. Now, I tend to hold my foot on the gas. That's just me. But use what makes sense to you. Now, we have, if you guys are ready, because I am, our shot list. We have our opening shot, shot type, eye level, description, host looks directly in the camera, engaging with the audience, the friendly, relatable expression as they ask the viewer if they're stuck. This is perfect. High angle shot, low angle, contextual B-roll, introduction to niches, right? Niches. It's giving different ideas, wide shot. So it's giving you quite a lot. Now, one thing I would say, and this might be feedback because TubeSpanner's in here, this is a lot of shot ideas and, stuff. Maybe we could give the selection of like a short shot list, a medium shot list, a long one, because otherwise I might get a little overwhelmed on this one. But this isn't bad. I could print this. I can go back to the editor. I can export this. I think for me, I'm going to go back to the editor, and then it's going to bring us up here again. Now, keep in mind that this script, I did generate it to be a little longer. It's reading at 13 minutes. So maybe there are things where I take a look, right? So like if I click on something, like if I click on wrap, I could see, see how it's going. I have closing remarks. I would say we delete that. There's lots of different tools. It's recommending, helping us find these things. All of these give you an idea for content. The mid-roll here is what that is I believe, is even more. And I see a question from English Fun Zone, and that is, for this, I want to make sure that I am here. So this is, open the link. Is there a special link for the free trial, or is it the same? Thanks. That is the free trial you can do on the pricing page, but maybe that's some feedback for that team, for the TubeSpanner team, is like, hey, make it a little more obvious. That's good. I see from Stanley here. What's great is how it does all the mundane labor, putting the script together, and then lets you take the reins, ensures the final product is still entirely yours, just faster. And that's what I think ultimately is, what we're trying to do. So now, we went from idea, we have a title, we have freaking scripts and a shot list. Now it's up to us, the creatives, to go out, to film the content, to make this possible. Because with TubeSpanner, you can go from an idea to a finished script ready for you to film in just under 35 minutes. And that's powerful. And if you want to learn more about TubeSpanner, click that video right there on screen. I'm Andrew Can. Thank you, TubeSpanner, for having me, and I hope you enjoyed this video.